Okay, hey everyone, welcome. So glad you guys could pop on for our quick training session with Jake, our regional coach, who is amazing. And I was chatting with him during a coaching call yesterday, and I just felt like it would be really helpful. Instead of a power hour, I feel like we'll be more effective. And he agreed, or actually, I think he suggested this, that we'll be more effective in our power half hours and our power hours if we kind of chat through and recap Super Saturday and some of the training that we learned. And he's going to just share kind of big picture perspective with us. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn it over to him. Jake, thank you so much for being willing to share your time with us and to impart your vision to our team.
Thank you, Megan. So I'm just going to be 100% honest. I was struggling to dial into Zoom, so I just did so and didn't hear anything you said until you said you were going to turn it over to me. So I apologize for that, but it was not letting me dial into Zoom for some reason. I had to do it a second time. So anyways, excited to be on the Zoom with everybody. One of the main things that I just want to make sure that we cover, and then I'd love to just open it up if you guys have any questions or concerns or just anything like that. But I just really want to go over some of the changes that you just saw unveiled at Super Saturday this last week and how that impacts your business and why we decided to do some of that. So the very first thing is I want you to know that this was a decision that was based on a lot of analytics and numbers in the company. And essentially we did it to try to figure out ways to help grow the company and make it more efficient. At the end of the day, if we want to grow Plexus, right, we have to, as a company overall and corporate, we have to help grow every single individual business out there, or at least equip you with the tools to be able to do that, because essentially we are everybody's upline, right? So if we want our business to grow, all of yours has to grow too. So what we did is we took about 7 or 8 years worth of all of our data and analytics, and we had a couple of different third-party companies come in and basically map that out for us. And we had a couple of different companies do it too, just so that we could make sure that we were seeing, that it wasn't just one opinion of one company with their analytics and data. So there were about 3 or 4 companies that did this for us. But anyways, we got all of in fact, I'm not able to show them with you, but just like they're these 2 giant like packets right here of just all of our analytics of 8 years of data and trying to figure out what happens to different people along their journey, right? Why do some people stay even though they've never gone silver, right? Why are some people with us for 2.5 years? And then also what gets people to go silver even though they've been with us for a year? All of a sudden we've had people go silver 12 months into them being in the business. So what prompts that? What creates a lot of that? So anyways, what we found in all of our analytics was that we have really great 60-day retention as a company. Most people that come on board stick with it for 60 days. And I think that has to do with our money back guarantee. At least that's what we came to the conclusion of. Now it's in our 3rd, 4th, and 5th month where we start to have people, their average order size starts to dip a little bit. Now we also found that if somebody joins and they order triplex for 6 months in a row from like the date that they first joined, meaning like you're only in the business for 6 months, but you order triplex every month, you generally stay with us, and you stay with us for a very, very, very long time, to the point where like our analytics don't even have that data accurate, because we've only been in business for 9, 10 years with triplex, and people have stayed with us for like 5, 6 years when they order for the first 6 months. So that was really eye-opening. But the challenge was, well, how do we get someone to order for 6 months in a row? Like, how do we get them to that point where they've had that good of experience? And essentially actually, let me back up. What we figured out is that the reason that people stay with us after 6 months, and I'm sure this isn't a shocker to anyone on this call, is that they love the way that they feel after they've gotten their gut in order, right? That's essentially what that tells us, and that they don't want to go back to feeling the way they did before. So for us, the challenge is, okay, well, how do we get them to that point? Because we recognize we can't give everyone a 6-month money back guarantee. That's just too absurd, right? We'd lose way too much money doing that. But we want to make sure that people are seeing results and sticking with it. And we know that with gut health, it can range quite a bit. You could see results 7 days in, or you can see results 7 months in, right? It varies for each person. And so what we wanted to do, and this what we did with the 199 packs, this is something we've wanted to do for a while, but we had to have the products ready to match this type of training. So essentially the idea now is that, actually, let me just share just a couple other things too. Another challenge is the detox experience that people have when they start on triplex, right? Some people, they have to bump down their dosage of ProBio 5 and BioCleanse because they're having such a bad detox experience because of all that bad bacteria in their body, right? And once it starts to come out, they have a horrible experience. And so that can cause people to bumped down. Now they're not at 100 PV, which obviously hurts the upline in their business and things like that, right? And we're not just here for, obviously, we're not just here for the money, but we also know that that's a key part of this, especially to help keep people consistent on their products. A lot of times they need to have their products paid for. So anyways, we know that that was a challenge. So now with these 199 packs, the goal is that whether they're joining for weight loss or for skincare or even for energy or mood or some of the other things, that we can get them quick results while being able to educate them about gut health and slowly introducing gut health into their regimen. So the idea now is if you're trying to lose weight, awesome. You join with a weight loss essentials welcome pack. You're going to take, hunger control, metaburn, lean, and block. You're also going to slowly introduce ProBio and BioCleanse into your system. Now in your second month, you're still going to need to reorder some of those products that you've seen results with, like metaburn, like lean, like slim. So that's going to cover that 100 PV to make sure that everybody is still able to work their business and their attrition isn't setting in. But it's allowing them to also slowly incorporate BioCleanse and ProBio into their system so they don't have a bad detox experience, but now they're fixing their problems at the root with gut health, right? Now, obviously, if it's skincare, that's still the same thing. If it's energy, it's still the same thing. If it's mood, it's still the same thing. We know that gut health is our niche, right? That's what we have that our competitors don't. And that's still what we want everybody to, that's still the main thing that we want people to be highlighting. But we also know that you can't, if you just share gut health with somebody and they don't know anything about gut health, they're probably not going to be super interested, right? We know that that's kind of a boring topic. It's not a super exciting pitch, right? People are looking for weight loss. They're looking for things that they know about. But once they've had a good experience and they're 7 to 10 days in on the products and they're feeling good, now this opens the door for you to be able to share with them about gut health and what makes our products different. You can share with them that, hey, yeah, lots of other companies have got meal replacements. A lot of other companies have fat burners. I think ours are the best, right? And I think ours are very clean ingredients. But what separates us is that we also like to take care of, gut health at the root cause, which is taking care of your sugar cravings, which is how balancing your blood sugar and using ProBio and getting rid of this bad bacteria that causes you to crave sugar. That's how we're going to correct this at the root. But it's allowing you to educate and get them to be willing to take time, because, we all know that to lose weight on triplex, it can take a long time because you've got to go in and correct all the other things, right? But it also isn't, triplex isn't necessarily designed to make you just shed weight, right? It's designed to help correct the things in your body, which helps aid in losing weight, but it's not designed to just burn fat off you like metaburn is or something like that. So those are some things there. And obviously in addition to that, a couple other reasons that we made this change too was we recognize that when people go to rank advance, they do what's called pushing, right? We're all probably familiar with that term. And what pushing has meant up until this point has meant, we go and we try to incentivize our current team of people because we need points, right? That's how you rank advance. You don't rank advance with welcome packs, or you didn't rank advance with welcome packs because they only gave out business building bonuses. Well, now with the 199 packs, we're able to give points out with that too. So now when you go to rank advance, pushing is actually going and signing up a lot of people. So you're able to control your own rank advancement better. But not only that, it also allows you to make sure that you're not going to go backwards the next month, because that was also a challenge is people would go push, but while you're pushing, your whole focus that month is rank advancing. So you're not necessarily focusing on growing your organization or doing your IPAs to help grow your team. And so now once you've advanced the next month, you've really got to play catch up because you took a whole month off IPAs and all that stuff. So this was something that will allow you to control your rank advancement, but also be guaranteed to not go backwards the next month as well. And then also too, the idea is not only will we retain people for a longer period of time because of the results that they're seeing up front when they get started on Metaburn or some of the or Joyome or some of those products that they see quick results with, but now they should also be more likely to share, which is another key component here, because up until this point, you just kind of had to trust what somebody said about triplex, right? There was no way to prove to me that I was going to feel better. For example, like Megan would just have to say, hey, Jake, try triplex. I know you're going to feel good. You're going to feel incredible. But she couldn't show me any proof of that. There was no photo evidence. There was nothing that she could do to guarantee me. She could show me scientific evidence, but we all know that most people are not going to go take the time and look at the research and all that. They just want to see a testimony. So now, anyways, but my point with that is if there weren't results, people were less likely to share because it wasn't guaranteed. So for example, I guess what I'm trying to say is that if Megan were to just go say, I'm going to feel better on triplex, and she posted that, I could go on her Facebook page and I could say, hey, Megan, you're just lying to make money off people. You don't actually feel better on triplex. And to her network, they may not know the difference. Obviously, we know that's not the case, but there's no proof that she could provide that would be a rebuttal to my argument right there. But when you've got, before and after photos that show the results on Joyome, or it shows inches lost or pounds lost or something like that, it's much easier to stand behind your own results and be like, hey, this is what happened. You can't argue with this kind of thing. So it should, in theory, also help create people more, or help people be more confident in sharing as well, and putting their testimonies out there to build the business. And then finally, hopefully this should also help you categorize which bucket you put people into. I know that if I'm pushing the 199 packs up front and someone says no, and like they're like, hey, I can't afford this right now, that's the very first red flag to me that I should consider asking some more questions to qualify how I sign them up. Because if they're not able to join for that 199, I'm not saying that they aren't going to be a good wholesale ambassador. They might be a very awesome wholesale ambassador and spend 100 every month. But that first initial that should be the first initial red flag, though. If they're not able to spend that 199 up front, I need to ask some more questions to qualify them, because they might be willing to spend 100 for the first 2 or 3 months, but what's it going to look like 6 months from now or a year from now, right? So it allows you to just be able to ask some more questions. But up until this point, as ambassadors, it's been challenging because you're all products of the product, and you're supposed to believe in the products, right? And so if someone commits to trying Triplex for 90 days, what do? You're kind of like, well, I have to believe that they're going to get good results. So, that's my belief in the product. So you sign them up as an ambassador. So now by pushing the 199 pack up front too, it'll allow you to be able to gauge what their commitment level is a little bit easier as well. And then finally, there's some behavioral science about this too. From Genevieve, who I'm sure you all love from Super Saturday in the training. She was awesome. She's always got that much energy, by the way. But she's got a huge background in behavioral sciences as well. And there's just a ton of science that shows us that when you have a larger investment, you've got more skin in the game, whether that's building a business or whether it's just staying committed to your goals, right? I mean, you join for $200, you're probably going to take the products more consistently than you would at $100 or at $50, and vice versa. If you're building the business, that larger investment is probably going to cause you to take it a little bit more serious, or put a little bit more time or effort into it, or you're going to spend a little bit more time trying to research and learn. I think a good example of this is, and this may not be true for every single person, but like here in Scottsdale, we have a couple of different gyms. One of them is called EOS Fitness, and another one is like Lifetime Fitness. Well, EOS is $9.99 a month. Lifetime is $100 a month. I promise you, if I sign up for Lifetime, I'm going to the gym way more than I am if I'm going for the one that's $10 a month, right? Just because I'm spending a lot more on it, right? I need to make sure that I'm doing, that I'm taking advantage of what I'm paying for. So those are some of the different things that we think will also help get people going. So anyways, the idea now is that that's the way that we want you to kind of push the products. And then we also want to just put a system in place for everybody, because we also recognized up until this point, we have great products and a great compensation plan, but where we could have, as a company, where we could have benefited more was for training and systems for our ambassadors, right? And, some of the teams in Plexus that have a lot of success are the ones with systems in place. And there are some people, in fact, I would imagine that there's probably at least quite a few of you on this call that this statement is going to fit to. And this is why we did this. There's some ambassadors that are really talented at what they do. They've got large networks. They're very passionate about what they do. They know their products, and they're able to share with people. And they might be people that have had great results on the products, or they might be people that have just had influence over their network and their friends for a long period of time, and they've never realized that they were a good salesperson because they were trusting, like their friends trusted them, and they were influential, right? But anyways, those people are really, really good at building the business, right? They can sign people and they can get people to silver, but then they struggle after that because they've always been high influencers, right? Like, you just say join and people join you. You say, hey, like, you should do this as a business, and they do it as a business, but then they struggle to help their silver ambassador, their brand new silver, create their own duplication. And that's where systems are necessary, because they just help a ton. And this is where we recognize that some ambassadors, look, if you're just taking color personality, like if a blue ambassador or a blue person generally doesn't like as many systems, right? They're less system driven. And so if you are one of those people that's really talented, but you don't like systems, you probably didn't create one for your team because you yourself wouldn't want someone to push a system on you. but there's also a lot of people that need systems. In fact, most people need one to be successful. Then you've got someone like myself, who's a green personality, who loves systems, who all of a sudden decides that he's going to put a system in place for all of his team. And that system is super complicated and boring, and it feels like a second job. But as a green, I love it, but most of the other people on the team don't, because they're not greens, right? So now it feels like a second job. So the challenge was not only creating a system, but creating a system that kind of worked for everybody. And that's where some of that's what all the and I don't, when I say this, I'm not ever trying to compare teams or anything like that, but there are some teams in Plexus that they've had systems that have worked for the masses, where it's not just a one personality type. Jessica Heffley and Tamara Holloway, I think, have one of the best systems in Plexus. Sheila Medina, Celeste Gwynn, Brooke Hemingway, and Emily Gibson. But the thing is, all their systems are different. Every system is different. All it is it's just a system that is working for them. And so what we want to do is just put out some type of system from corporate that you guys could imitate and then innovate your own. You can take what you like and what works and create your own from that, or at least you've got something to help support all the new people coming in. So that's one reason that we really wanted to put that in place. Then let me see, what else did we launch? Let me grab my flyers. The Fresh Start, I think, is awesome too. Like, that was something that we wanted to put all of you guys in, just because that if we're going to ask the field to relearn the way that they're building or redo things, we wanted to also put a really nice incentive out there that rewards you the same way that the Fast Start program does, just to kind of get you in that process of building as well. So yeah, keep in mind that it's literally like you're a brand new ambassador starting today, or starting on January 12th. So go out and do that. And then just a couple of other things, like, with this visual, like the reason we wanted to put a visual together with this was, obviously you don't have to do it exactly how this is. Like, you don't have to sign this person doesn't have to go silver, and each one of them don't have to get silvers. The idea is, this is how many bodies that you need in your organization. But we wanted to teach the most duplicatable way to do this, and the most stable way to do it. And the most stable way to do it is by getting other people to promote, so that they've got skin in the game too. They're earning a check. They're not going anywhere. They're retained, and they're sharing Plexus as well. But I really think that one of the key things that I would really try to highlight to new people coming in is the fact that you can make $422 if you get 3 people to sign up within 14 days and spend $200 a piece. But just break the math down for them, because that's like, your 3 friends are going to spend $600 and you're going to make $422. Like, that should really get the light bulb going for people, that this is a very generous comp plan. Like, you don't have to go into the 11 different ways they get paid and everything like that to get someone to realize that. The other thing is, we want to keep it, like, most people don't necessarily care about all the verbiage in a business, about points and all that stuff until they have enough skin in the game. So this is a system designed to help get them to gold without them ever realizing what they did to get to gold. And then you just duplicate that multiple times over, and that's how you become, a gem or a jewel or diamond ambassador. So yeah, and then also, like, the idea here too is to just be strategic. We never want to encourage stacking. Stacking is, for those of you who don't know, is when you don't know somebody and you put them under someone else. That's not a good practice to do. But what is a good practice is to make sure that if you have 2 friends that know each other, that we group them together, that we link them together and allow them to work the business together. You don't want to have them competing, because in theory, we're one Plexus at the end of the day, everyone. But all your level 1s are essentially competitors to each other, And so if you've got 2 friends that have a similar network, you don't want them to be competing against each other and cannibalizing each other's business every time they have success. So this is just a way to kind of help you visualize and think about linking teams together, so that they're A, it's more fun when you got a power partner and you're working with someone, but B, then they're going to see success together, and it's still going to help your business the same, but it's not going to cannibalize theirs. So those are some ideas. And obviously too, the other thing is to try to get them to, like, you'll notice that a lot of people can get more than 3 people in their first 30 or 14 days, right? But the idea is, if you do this in your first 14, now instead of trying to get 3 more in your next 14, well, let's go to these people, let's go to these people and help them try to get them, because they still have 14 days as well. And now you're also teaching everyone on the team how to have success. So you're not, I guess what I'm trying to say here is we've always had a huge imbalance. There are some teams that just spend way too much time trying to support everyone on their team and not recruiting new people and not, bringing new people in. And then there's some people that spend all their time recruiting new people and not supporting their team at all. And it's a really hard balance. And generally there is no perfect balance. It usually shifts depending on the season that you're in your business. But the idea here is that this is a way to also kind of get you to think about that up front. Hey, I got my people in my first 14 days, but if I can help them get a paycheck too in their first 14 days, it's like mine. Now I've got, 4 people working this business as opposed to just me doing it by myself. And it's just like that penny on a chessboard analogy, right? Where it doubles every single day. And at the end of the chessboard, you are a multimillionaire because of how many times it's compounded over. So there was one other thing, and I'm drawing a blank as to what I was going to say. I don't know. Are there any questions or anything like that while I'm trying to remember what I was going to even talk about here?
One of the questions was, is the end date for the fresh start on the 26th, exactly 14 days after Super Saturday?
Yes, for the fresh start.
Okay. And what was the first 90 days? I know the next 90 days are like the huge focus, especially for new ambassadors. So the fast start is an ongoing thing.
So yes, this currently right now it's an incentive. This isn't built in as a part of our comp plan, but right now as an incentive, it's replacing the current fast start program that's in our comp plan. It's one of those things. I mean, anytime you use the word change and comp plan in the same sentence, people panic. And so it's one of those things that you have to be delicate with. So we don't want to say that we're changing anything in the comp plan until we've run this model to see that this works. We're pretty confident that this structure is going to work really well in helping people get money up front as opposed to our current one. I think our current one could definitely use some adjustments, which is why we did that. But before we implement it as a permanent thing in our comp plan, I think we wanted to model it over a few months. But I would imagine that this will become there might be a couple of tweaks to it if we find that there's a piece of it broken or something like that isn't doing what we want it to do. But I would imagine that at some point this becomes built in to our comp plan as a right way to build. So,
but the culture for our team for the next until January 26th is that everyone fresh starts. Like if you're working your business and you're serious about it, this makes so much sense to do the me plus 3. You get a bonus and then you're helping your them plus 3. So you're helping your people fresh start and you're helping your newest people fast start, right? Or at least approaching the conversation with them if they're not coming in specifically for the business.
Actually, I just remembered what I was going to say too.
Okay.
Piggybacking on what you're saying here, this forces you. Well, it doesn't force you. It should force you though to talk about the business, because you should feel extremely guilty if you sign somebody up for these products and you don't share this with them, because you're being very selfish. You're concerned with how that person is going to view you. And I promise you, like if you take the fact that our comp plan pays out 50% and you do the math and people are buying 600, you get 3 people to buy $200 a piece and get $600, you're making 422. That doesn't even take into consideration the fact that your upline also got business building bonuses and points on it. We're paying out somewhere around like 80 to 85% right now, 80 to 85% in this fast start program. The idea is to get money back in your pockets quick so that you keep building and so that you keep building to the point that you're a gold ambassador with enough residual income now to be able to have a nice income on the side here where you're making $300 to $500 a month. And now you're really able to go out there and talk about this business opportunity, how the products have helped you. And in theory too, this will help you get a lot of products in your hands, get your products paid for, and allow you to take 7 or 8 products too without having to worry about how you're going to budget for it. And now you've gotten the best results where you've gotten the best health possible, and you've got a good business with income coming in on the side and a whole team of people that are doing that same thing. So it's just, you're trying to create a fine-tuned machine here where it just kind of grows on its own from other people, just sharing and going. So it kind of, but anyways, it should force you to talk about the business, because when you're signing someone up and qualifying them, you could say, hey, based on how many products that you're looking at buying here, I think this ambassador route makes the most sense. You're going to get wholesale pricing. It's only $40 to sign up for a year to get that membership. This is definitely the best deal. Now, I just want you to know, with that though, comes the option and the ability to be able to build this business on the side. You don't have to do it, there's no requirements, but because you're spending this $40 for the wholesale pricing, it also includes this. Now, I feel like I have to tell you this, even if it's not something that you're interested in right now, because when you sign up as an ambassador, the clock starts right away. You got 14 days to be able to share with 3 friends, and you can make $422 if they just decide they want to jump in and try these products like you have with for their 60 days. So, but it at least is kind of forcing you to have that conversation, because it's putting so much money back into their pockets. I mean, you want to talk about earning back your initial investment and then some. You'll earn back your initial investment plus next month's, subscription and stuff like that. So it's one of those that you should definitely be. And then great, if they don't do it within 14 days, they still have 30 to get $322, which is more than 50% still of what their friends have paid into the program with. So it just makes sense for everyone to be doing it. It makes sense to be talking about it, and just to hey, I just don't want you to be upset if you ever found out that I didn't share with this with you or kept it a secret. But then what's cool is then you can build in your follow-up process along the way too, where like, cool, 5 or 6 days in, you're following up on the products. Hey, how are you feeling? You losing any weight? You feeling better? Anything like that? And if they say anything positive at all, like, yeah, I'm down a few pant sizes, or I've lost 3 pounds, or, I've got more energy, or my mood's better, or anything, fantastic. Are you sure you didn't want to consider sharing? Because you still have 7 days left to be able to earn $422 if you just have 3 friends that want to jump in and try these products. So, yeah, just like Justin saying, like, Justin and Megan, oh, there's 2. Yeah. Keep it as what's in it for them. And so, but just keep showing them. But also just keep in mind too, highlight the differences between our products and everyone else's. At the end of the day, it's still gut health. That's what we want to make sure everyone's focusing on. But we want to make sure that we educate them on it and slowly incorporate it. So this is all about giving them the best experience possible. If they have a great, and I'm sure you guys know this better than I do, since you guys are building businesses, you give somebody a good experience, they stay. If they don't have a good experience, they leave a lot of times, right? So get them a good experience with the products up front, get them sharing, and yeah, I personally, I love this new system that we've got in place. The idea is so that you don't talk as much. I would still encourage you to, share, be confident talking about the business. We're trying to limit the the difficult steps on your end, so that it's just a simple, like, hey, send these videos over to them. But you also know that you are still going to have those people that are like, I don't know about the business. So you're going to have to kind of, still be able to talk to them confidently about this and why they should do it and that type of stuff. So, yeah, that's kind of all I've got. But are there any questions or any concerns that anyone has when it comes to pushing these packs or anything like that?
I think definitely for me, I have not talked about the business consistently when signing up new ambassadors, and now it's just part of my system. I've made it like my MO that you sign up with me regardless of why you're joining Plexus. I'm going to share how to get started on the products, and I'm also going to throw it out there like, hey, what are your thoughts about sharing? If I'm on the phone with them, I ask that question. If they're game for sharing, I help them make a post that day. I literally send them what to post and tell them to put a picture with it, and then I help them work that post. The other thing too is if I'm not able to sign them up over the phone, I just had several people join, and I either signed them up for them or they did it themselves. I sent over some voice messages like, hey, did you get your products yet? I sent them my little product starter video and the graphic that we have for their set of products. And then I just voice messaged them and said, hey, I just want to let you know that, and I just basically said, what are your thoughts about sharing? I always like to present that as an option because I would love to help you learn how to get your products paid for. And, usually you're probably thinking of some people that this could benefit and help. And studies show that if you have an accountability partner, you'll be more successful. So let me know your thoughts are on that and we can chat if that's something that is interesting to you. So just like opening up that door, and I did not do that with the majority of my people. I kind of had the perspective that if they were going to do it, they'd just go do it like I did. But we're going to increase our chances of more people doing something with it, because I've been pleasantly surprised at how many people are like, actually, I am kind of interested in, covering the cost of my products. What do I need to do? And then from there, I help them make a post. And if they do that and we work that post, sometimes we're able to help them get to silver just by doing that. And then I always offer to do a little online event, or if they're local, I'd go over to their house but I don't have anyone local right now. except for one person. So those little online events are so effective, and it's almost worth like a month's worth of those people posting. And so it kind of gets that process over quicker.
Yeah, I mean, Megan just hit the nail on the head. I mean, I will tell you that the number one mistake that I see a lot of teams make is that they're waiting for people to go silver themselves instead of giving them that nudge. Most people aren't self-starters. And I would encourage you to have that conversation like Megan is with every single person. And if they're not interested in building, like I'll just share with you guys what I'm doing on my coaching calls moving forward. So if I just did this actually yesterday with someone, but it wasn't Megan, full disclosure, but I'm going to pick on her and use her as an example. So if Megan comes to me and she's like, hey, Jake, and I'm like, hey, Megan, awesome job. You got your 3 enrollments this month. Are any of them interested in going silver or sharing? If Megan says no, none of them want to build, she better know why they don't want to build. Because if she knows why they don't want to build, we can fix that later. If she doesn't know why, then we'll never fix it. They're just going to sit there. And generally, it's a lack of belief in something, and it's up to you as an ambassador to figure out how you can fill their belief. And I might just be making an assumption off what Megan is sharing here, but my guess here is that part of the reason Megan has a lot of success when asking people, are they interested in sharing? Do you want to make a first post? Is because they're probably sitting there saying like, hey, Megan is believing that I could do it, that I could have success in this. And if you really try to figure out what is the number one reason why people don't work this business, let's just break it down and write some of those possibilities on a piece of paper. Is it because they hate Plexus products? Usually not. I mean, if they're still ordering, it's usually because they like them, right? Is it because they hate the company? Usually not. I mean, we're a pretty ethical company. We got good morals. We got a good culture, good values, great ambassadors. So it's usually not that. Is it because they've had a bad experience with network marketing in the past, or someone they know has had a bad experience with network marketing? Good chance. That's a lot of times it. But most of the time, and this is the most common, I'm sure most of you would agree with me on here, it's usually because they're afraid of failing themselves, or they don't believe that they themselves are going to have success. And so sometimes if you just spend that extra little bit of time with them and say, hey, like, I think that you could do this, or here's why I think you'd have success, that goes so far. It might be one of those things that people aren't even recognizing deep down, but the fact that, like, personally, if that was what Megan was saying to me, I'd be like, this diamond ambassador, she's the highest rank in the company, and she's asking me if I'm interested in sharing. Like, what is she seeing in me that I don't believe that I can do, so she's probably building belief in people without them even realizing it, without her even, I mean, I'm sure she realizes she's doing it, but by simply her just asking that next question, they're like, hey, she believes in me, which sometimes is all it takes, because they don't hate the company. They don't hate Plexus. They don't know what to do, and they're afraid. But if they've got someone that's willing to show them, then, and believe that they could have success, that's all it takes. So, but essentially get to the bottom of why they don't want to share. Just say like, hey, I totally understand. I don't want to pressure you. I just mean this in the most respectful way, but what is it that's holding you back that is making you not want to share these products that help, enhance people's health and quality of life? Like, what is it that you don't want to share right now? What is it? Because they should, in theory, tell you if you ask that question. And then once you know what their hang up is, you can fix it. If it's because they had an awful experience with network marketing in the past, or someone they know did, we'll figure out what that experience was. Well, my cousin's friend had to stockpile a bunch of stuff in their garage, and they had a bunch of debt. And oh, cool. Well, let's talk about why this isn't that. Because you don't stockpile inventory, you don't do any of that. You have a replicated website, but you can fix that. It's just figuring out what the issue is. So, that's my little rant, but that's probably the number one mistake that I think I see teams make, is they're waiting for those people to go silver on their own or catch the belief themselves, instead of just trying to give them that little nudge to help them. So, let's see. Are they revamping the welcome packs on January 23rd, the $199 specifically? Yes, Molly, you're going to see. So full disclosure, MetaBurn was not supposed to come out until Super Saturday. We decided to launch it a little bit earlier in December, because we wanted to try to help. December is always our slowest month for people, so we wanted to try to get a product out there that got a lot of people to come back and order. And we also thought the timing would be really good for the Slim Down Challenge to get that going in people's hands. And also, there's just a lot of content at Super Saturday anyway, so it made it easier to share all that content. So anyways, so we've been slightly just behind on getting all the packs and all that ready. But there will be a bunch of new welcome packs, majority 199 packs. The idea is the $99 welcome packs, you might even see, I don't think they'll ever completely go away. I hope they do, to be honest with you. And the only reason I say that I hope they do, that might sound a little crazy, but honestly, if you look at like the numbers and the analytics of people that join with them, I would rather if you could get someone to sign up today with a $99 welcome pack, or you could have them wait until next month and get a $199, I'd have you wait till next month every time. Just being honest, I would. Now, that may not be popular when it comes to this month's enrollments or something like that internally, but I'm just being honest with you. When it comes to when you look at the analytics, when you look at the retention amongst people that buy 199 packs, when you look at people that buy a 199 pack and look at the average length of time it takes for them to go and share and go silver, the numbers are clear. I wish I was allowed to share them. I'm not allowed to share the company-wide stats, but I mean, if you saw the differences in comparison, you would never again think about pushing a $99 welcome pack first. It would be the like, do you want a $199? No? Okay, well, maybe you're a customer. Like, I'm serious. Like when you see and then okay, great. You're 2 or 3 months into being a customer. You love the products. This is what you're ordering. Let's upgrade you so you'll save some money. That's kind of the route that I would encourage people to take. So. Will there be an option to choose between slims on the welcome packs? Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped one. Will there be subscriptions with MetaBurn? Yes, there's going to be all kinds of new combos. I hope I'm allowed to say that. But one of the other things that we want to do is we specifically made MetaBurn 30 PV so that and Slim together would hit 100 and still get people paid. But there will be some more combos and subscriptions like that with MetaBurn. Especially probably with lean and block as well. Will there be an option to choose between slims on the welcome packs? Yes, I just don't have an ETA on that, and I don't want to. IT would not like it if they just found out that I told a Zoom of 34 ambassadors a date that would happen. But yeah, they're working on a lot of stuff right now. You'll see some really cool retention things come out. But yeah, the idea is eventually to be able to pick between slims, between leans, between everything. So yeah, we're trying to create all kinds of things for everybody. The basketball hoop in the background, can you see that? Is that, yeah, right there. That's my favorite little thing. I don't know where the little Plexus basketball is, but we steal those little Plexus basketballs from like convention, those little Nerf ones, and then we'll shoot and stuff. But yeah.
I just wanted to touch on the send, share, invite system and the me plus 3, them plus 3. That just needs to become our mantra. And, you know, Jess and I were talking about how Super Saturday gave us tools, convention gives us tools, and it kind of immerses us into really, really good training and that we get poured into, but it's up to us to utilize that. It's just like a gym membership. There's a lot of people that go get a gym membership in January, but then only a certain percentage of those people actually utilize that and use that to make healthy change in their life, right? So I feel like the same goes for the training that we've received. It all comes down into behavioral change. Like we might initially have that high from being at an event with people and be excited, but the key is can we put that into action? And so one thing that I know I'm doing just from a practical standpoint is meeting with people to help them goal set and put a date on it, asking hard questions, and also doing little Zooms and power half hours with new people to help them send those 5 messages, just so they kind of get in a rhythm and we can kind of talk through how to send, how to ask for the permission to send the video, just send it. And then, when they respond back, plug them into some sort of event, either that we're hosting or now those Monday events. And there's Tuesday events, right, that cover product. Am I right on that?
So yeah, the product one is a little bit more for current ambassadors to get training on it. I mean, you can invite others to that, but it's really more to help educate and train the field on how to present products and stuff like that better. But yeah, there's always going to be an opportunity event that Diamonds will be sharing, and obviously you can do your own 7-day challenge groups. I think you'll start to see all kinds of, like, I love that the slim down that we're doing now. I think we've made it better each time. But the idea is that you can find something that appeals to everyone. If they're here for health or products, great. That should be the easy, sell with just even the video or the testimony, right? But if they're looking for a business opportunity, great, sell them on that. Maybe they're looking for community and culture. Well, great, let's get in the Plexus Fit Squad or the Slim Down Challenge if you're looking for any type of like weight loss or fitness challenges or anything like that, where you're surrounded by other people that are cheering you on, that are doing the same things as you are. So you've got that community support. But there should ideally be something there for everybody to allow you to invite them to just to kind of appeal to them.
Exactly. And so I feel like helping our teams stay consistent to, hey, did you send your 5 videos today? Did you send your 5 messages? And helping people capitalize on that, because those small daily things are going to bear fruit in 90 days. And so we need to help people do the action and commit to that action and really be committed to excellence and wholeheartedness, because I feel like if we're going to do this thing, we might as well do it well, right? And it boils down to the consistent daily action and the fact that we as leaders are the spark on our team. So if we want people to go silver, we're probably going to have to go initiate that activity. So for me personally, I'm messaging even happy wholesalers and saying, hey, I'm helping people get their products covered this month. Is this something that intrigues you or interests you? I'd be happy to help you. And I'm offering to do an event for them. So
speaking of that, I'm going to tell you all a good challenge to do right now. Go in your virtual offices, go find any one of your wholesale ambassadors that got you points in December, and go talk to them about fresh starting. They are basically brand new ambassadors with the ability to fast start, except for here's the difference. They've already tried the products. They've probably been with you for some time, and they ordered in December, which is the hardest month to get somebody to order Plexus products. So those would be the first list of people that I would go work to try to get them to go silver with this fresh start incentive, especially because if they've technically never hit silver before, that means that that's an additional achievement bonus that they get for physically hitting the rank, not just the fresh start like piece of it. They are actually going to physically go silver as well. So
yes,
yeah, that's the best group to go after. They probably have testimonies because they've been on the products. They like them because they ordered in December, and yeah, they're already there. They got networks, so they can speak positively about Plexus products. So that would be the first. I mean, if you're trying to figure out what to do with your IPAs today, that would be the very first thing I do. Go find them. And then I go find some new people as well, because I'll do that too.
You're probably sitting on gold. There's been multiple people that are ranked up to gold, senior gold, and ruby that were on my team for at least a year, or if not more, that caught a vision, but you have to continually circle back to people and ask. Don't ever take people off your list. Just like Emily Gibson said, people restart all the time, and sometimes people will start for the business because they know the products are good. They just fell off the bandwagon. And the other thing that I've noticed about my own activity is that I'm so busy talking and helping my my team make things happen, and also personally messaging people, that I am not like super consistent in posting on Facebook or super consistent checking all the groups and all the comments and things like that. So I just encourage you, spend time in your messenger, because that's where you're going to see growth in your business, helping your teammates, and especially adding your 3 people and helping them add people. Are there any questions, guys? I'm going to have to run my kids to piano lessons, but anyone have any quick questions?
Liz, just to answer your question, yeah. So basically, just keep in mind that extra $100 bonus plus the fresh start would only apply to those that haven't physically hit silver before. If they've done it before, they wouldn't be able to still hit that again. But yeah, and that same thing applies for anyone in the fresh start that goes and hits gold or hits senior gold or anything like that, right? Those bonuses still apply. So yeah, but that's all I had today. So
we get $100, right, for fresh start, even if we're already ranked, right?
Yep. So yep, you will. But keep in mind, so you would get up to 422. But if you've been an existing ambassador before, but you've never hit silver, you can still get that $100 silver bonus on top of that as well, because you've never technically ranked. So that's why I would go back to my list of all my wholesalers from December that have never hit silver, because you want to talk about earning money this month. They share with 3 people in the next 14 days or before January 26th, and they've got the ability to earn $522. I promise you, you get somebody to earn $522 this month from sharing with 3 people, they'll share next month too. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like we have to prioritize where our time would be best spent. And so it is kind of exactly what Jake said. Go to those people, and then we'll go from there, helping our people and getting our 3 people. All right, guys, I gotta hop off this call, but thank you so much, Jake, for popping on. Thank you, teammates, for listening in. I think it's going to be a great 2019.
Welcome. Bye, everyone. Have a great week.